So as designers, how can we use this information to benefit our systems? So that's a complicated thing. I highly recommend you read it. It's interesting. And her website is very nice, and there's a lot of people that follow that and are helping with that, say, initiative to try to do what cradle to cradle in business. So that's kind of the basis of that. So soils with large mycelium networks, diversity of organisms create drought resistance, disease resilience, increased growth both in size and speed. So work on your soils. By providing the right soil conditions, pH levels, and correct moisture, by adding soil additives, nitrogen fixers, and sequestering carbon, by adding organic materials, and by the addition of biotes and fertilizers, by inoculating our plants with fungi, with ground covers, mulching, rotating our animals. This is how we can utilize the 5 kingdoms. Okay? These, just working on the soil and the kingdoms that we're facilitating in that creates the cycle, and then we're a consumer of the plants, okay, and or animals that may eat the plants. But we have to appreciate that there's a cycle, and the waste system that we utilize must be returned back to the system. And once we start to appreciate that more, we start to get into our systems design, and then we'll be moving into you guys with a little bit more advanced permaculture with the practicals, where the biofertilizations, actually showing you how septic tanks or living machines work, so that you can recreate these processing plants, if we will, so that we can start to actually get our NPK levels up to competing with this, what I like to say, the synthetic fertilizer. How do you get, and we saw the wing bean, right, in an organic garden that is, 10 inches long, okay? And this is the point. We can get our levels that high, but it's a systematic process. It takes organization, but when you can get results like that, guys, this is well worth it. So we do things that we can see, and this is what we're going to move forward with. And so that's the end of our soils overview. I call theory. Obviously, our practicals are what is making that come alive. Then the harvesting in the garden is the best part, because you get that thing. So top fertile soil formation is the solution to farm productivity, water quality, climatic stability, biosecurity, and economic abundance, and it also solves all the nutritional and behavior problems. So when you make good soils, right, even the animals that are on them, so they do studies so that they don't have nutritional or behavioral problems tied to soil. So they go in and they work on the soil, so whether it's goats, sheep, anything, and to think that we're not the same. So our nutritional and also behavioral problems being tied to the soil condition where our food sources come from. So a lot of times to learn really good or high level nutrition is to actually study animal nutrition or domesticated animals, because the studies that they can do to them, they put them in cages, okay, and different than rats, because it's not really the same size, and rats don't necessarily act like we do. But when you can take a pig, for instance, and it's very, very close, and how they different food sources. So that's good organic soil. That's what Guy was talking about. You pull back that topsoil, and boom, there's all these worms. Look at the humic material. The plants that come out of there, whoever eats it, you're not going to have nutritional problems. You don't have behavioral problems with your kids, things like this.